How you doing, guys? It's Trenius Henderson. We're here once again with my boy Byron here from Full Sail alumni. We're here to continue the discussion on today's hip-hop generation versus the past generations. So, feels good to be here again though, right, man? Part 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, man, what you been doing over the course of time not being on the camera?
Pretty much just recording.
Yeah.
Got a couple new artists I'm working with, so I just been in the studio, just recording. It's me.
Yeah. How many artists you work with?
Pretty much like 2 or 3 now.
Cool.
Had a little incident over the summer, so I kind of took a break for a couple months, and now I'm getting back into recording just about every day.
When you say incident, what you mean you had an incident over the summer?
Well,
you don't want to get too into it?
Well, basically, I got some brand new equipment, about $7,000-8,000 worth of equipment.
Yeah.
And I got robbed at gunpoint. And somebody knew I had some new equipment. It was still in the box, and it kind of set me up to get me to record just so they could get in my house and rob.
Oh, that's unfortunate, man. But I know you recovered and everything's going well for you, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much.
Yeah. So, like, what type of artists do you record, man? Like, you record, like, just rap artists or pop artists or what?
When I can't record anybody, I pretty much focus on R&B and hip-hop, but, I mean, pretty much just rappers, because I understand the power of hip-hop, and, you know, it's kind of like a modern form of preaching, the way, and whether you believe in the Bible or not, the way preachers did in the time of Jesus, I think that's the power that hip-hop has as far as generation.
Yeah. So you are. Let me get this straight, because I think y'all remember from part 1. If you didn't watch part 1 of this interview, make sure you go watch part 1. Today's music hip hop generation versus the past generation. Watch part 1 if you didn't watch part 2. But anyway, so let me get this straight, Byron. Like, okay, you're a Full Sail alumni. So when it comes down to today's music generation, what do you do are you just an engineer, or you're a producer and an engineer?
Yeah, I'm a producer and engineer. Okay. I mean, I make beats, I engineer, I can do them separate, but I like it better when I make the beat and then find somebody to record to it that'll fit the beat, and then like record the whole session and mix it and do a little bit of mastering. I don't call myself a masterer, but I know how to do it.
Yeah. So like, so most of the artists you have that you record, you pretty much know their sound?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much get a feel for their sound and listen to their music before I bring them to the studio and record.
Cool, because it made me think about this one engineer I knew, man, and he would always tell me about, the artists that he was recording and how they all had a different sound of style, and how he would have to switch his style up into like some auto-tunes versus this guy over here who likes to use a lot of ad-libs, and this guy over here who likes to use a lot of, sound effects. And I'm like, damn, how you keep up with all that, man? How you keep up with all them artists?
You just know a person's sound, and you kind of feel, certain people rap, like, their style of rapping, you can just add ad-libs in the gaps because they like maybe space out the words a lot. And some people might halfway sing, but they're not really singers. So if I put auto-tune on this, it'll kind of bring it out. And sometimes, I love using that. I mean, it's just like once I learn how to do it and I can tune it and just, find a key to beat and then program the auto-tune, it's kind of like, the sound is nice if you do it right. It shouldn't be something that's overused to substitute singing, but at the same time, if you use it as an effect, it sounds good with a lot of modern beats, like especially trap beats.
Yeah. You already got your engineer talk. Like, you already have your sounds preset, like your computer, like your auto-tune is already preset, or you have to go in and like do a new one for every time you record an artist?
Well, I mean, auto-tune is based off a key of the song, so you gotta, if you record on a beat that somebody else made, you gotta figure out the key of the song and then tune it. Or if it's a song you already made and you know the key, then you can tune it yourself.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I pretty much like, the reason why when I got a studio I can move quick is because I pretty much have a template set up that's like just standard for any session, and then all I gotta do is just add a new track. And I don't have to like go set the whole thing up and spend like 30 minutes doing that every time. I can just open the file and it's right there.
Wow. So let me ask you this, man. Since you already you know what the sound is supposed to sound like, you already know how to set your presets up for all the artists that he records and stuff like that. Let me ask you this: where do you really feel like the sound for today's music is going in the next 5 years? What do you think the 5 years now? What will music sound like? And I mean like pop, rock, rap. I mean, what do you think?
Well, sound-wise, I can't really tell because it was going kind of a futuristic EDM style for a minute in the early 2010s. And then like around like 2015, it kind of, everything just became trap, like trap style, the future Young Thug kind of auto-tunes trap style. That sounds kind of dominating music. But if I have anything to say for it, it'll be something called trap rock.
Yeah,
I like.
Yeah, that's about right.
I use GarageBand on my iPad, and I like using the guitars on there. So it's like I can't necessarily play the guitars, but just that I know about chords and keys. Like I know how to really make my sound what it is, and I like taking the trap drum style and adding guitars to it. So if you hear anybody doing that, just know where the idea came from.
And that's what they usually do in the industry. They be biting people's styles, I heard. Like you just mentioned Future and Young Thug, right?
Yeah.
I think they kind of like, they the same, like, cause I think Young Thug, the guy that made that my best friend song.
Yeah.
Like I heard that, I've heard from a lot of people that so-called Young Thug does like this mumble rap. Is it Young Thug or is it Future? Like,
well, I mean, they kind of put mumble rap in a lot of like Young Thug, Future. Yeah.
What's up with that, man? Like, I mean,
I don't know. It depends.
Do you understand it?
Because I mean, like you got Lil Uzi Vert, they call him a mumble rapper, but he has this kind of rock element to his sound already. He don't use rock beats, but he like got a kind of rock singing style, and I kind of appreciate that because it's conveying emotion, even if you don't really like get the words.
Right.
And
that makes sense.
And like there's Designer, who they say sounds just like, not song designer, I'm the song designer, but the rapper Designer,
Yeah.
he sounds kind of like Future.
Yeah, I thought that was Future when I first heard this stuff, man.
Yeah. But he got this song called Up. It's like my favorite song to come out this year. It ain't really get big radio play, but if you look up by Designer, you'll see why. Like, it's like, it ain't like, I guess since you got the Kendricks and the J. Cole's out here, and especially like if you're from Charlotte, look up Luke, man. He signed to J. Cole.
Who's that?
Yeah, he's a lyrical artist. He's from Betis Ford. He like got his video playing on BET Jams now. But I mean, like I guess since you got so much lyrical rap and it's kind of making a comeback, it kind of like separated where it's like you either listen to this, and I listen to I listen to Lil Uzi Vert, I listen to Lil Yachty, so I can't hate on them, but I mean, people just say you're not really like speaking about deep stuff, and you really market it off of your sound and how you flow, and not necessarily the words you're saying. But if you actually like listening to music, then you can appreciate that.
Right.
And that's why I like Kendrick, because he's learning how to. He's not just straight lyrical. Like in this new album, he harmonizing a lot, doing a lot of stuff that you'd expect trap rappers to do. But he still got that hard Kendrick flow with the lyrics he's talking about. So.
Yeah, he's a very versatile music artist, Kendrick Lamar. I listen to Kendrick Lamar a lot too, now that you mentioned him.
And it showed. Yeah. On August 29th, that was like the best concert I ever went to up here at the Spectrum Arena.
He had a concert in Charlotte here?
Yeah, Spectrum Arena.
Oh, really?
That was like, that was incredible, man. He had everybody singing every word to Humble without the beat playing. He just started the song off and put the mic out, and everybody was singing every word for word. Like, you know, you're a big time artist, you get a whole arena full of people singing your song word for word.
Dang, how that Humble song go? You talking about, not Loyalty, but the Humble song by Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
I forgot how it go, and I swear I hear it every other day.
I remember serve sandwiches and gummy lounges.
Remember serve sandwich, remember shit. Kendrick, shouts out to you, Kendrick Lamar, man. Hey, if everybody here in Charlotte knows your lyrics, man, that's great, because I really am inspired by Kendrick Lamar. But you know, speaking of, you know, you said that, you know, today's music is kind of going to like a trap rock. trap
No,
rock.
I said if I have anything to do with it, because that's the sound that I'm trying to come up with on my own.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think it's just moving trap, but it's like, I don't really know, because like, if you would ask me 5 years ago, I would have thought everything would have just been completely techno by now, because everybody was doing the EDM stuff, even the hip hop.
Yeah.
But now it's like the trap style is taking over. Like even pop songs have a like kind of trap element to it. But I can't necessarily guarantee that that's how it's gonna be in 5 years. As things moving so fast.
Yeah.
The streaming age.
It's like, if you ask me, man, I think it's everything is becoming like a big gumbo pot. You know, it's like, for instance, Bruno Mars. Isn't he labeled like a pop artist?
Yeah.
But don't his music, sometimes his music sounds like hip hop, or sometimes his music sounds like, you know,
He
like
came
techno
out with,
or something.
He came out with B.O.B. So I mean, that's like, he started out with hip hop, and like he was a songwriter for a few artists or whatever. And you know, even on this song, That's What I Like, it's like one of my favorite songs ever.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah, like he kind of got that kind of hip hop R&B swag to it. But he's been coming up with so much pop stuff recently that it was kind of unexpected. But it still sounds like Bruno Mars.
Yeah. So you say, you know, for our generation of music versus the past generation of music, like, what do you think they would look at somebody like, what's his name, XXX?
Extentation.
Yeah, Extensiones, whatever. Like, what do you think, like, somebody coming from the past generation and critiquing our music today, what do you think they'll think of a guy like him or Lil Uzi Vert? Like, what do they think about it, the older people?
Well, I don't know if I pronounced his name right. I think Extentation.
Something like that.
But I mean, like, he kind of is one of them artists that kind of like, he kind of made a name with the kind of like trappy mumble rap type songs, but he's like a real deep dude, because a lot of this stuff that don't get as much play I listen to, and like he talking about something, he talking about emotions, he's talking about deep stuff, and it's not just completely like just about a rolling on his arm or whatever.
That guy's been through a lot too. I think I watched you know, his little documentary or whatnot, and I watched some footage on him. He's been through a lot, and you know, sometimes you can't never just judge these artists off their music. Sometimes you got to look at their documentaries. I was also watching the have you seen the Chris Brown documentary recently?
No.
I watched that the other day, man. It taught me a lot about Chris Brown, the singer, Chris Brown, the R&B singer. I also watched Katy Perry. You seen Katy Perry's, what is it called? 6'1", something like that?
No, I haven't seen.
Yeah, but you know, and that's good, because the reason why I'm talking about this is because nowadays, man, artists need that. They need that background knowledge of who they are for today's generation and society to really understand where they're coming from, because a lot of artists are misunderstood, you know, and a lot of people, like you were saying last time when we had the interview, a lot of people think that, you know, just because these artists are talking about violence and shooting and stuff, like, don't mean that people can't don't watch the same thing on TV. You see what I'm saying? And that's absolutely the truth. You know, why is it that we can watch violence and gore and shooting and sex on television, and it's cool at the movie theaters, at the box office, when a movie's selling out for millions and millions of viewers who came and watched it, but people are mad and raving because you got trap artists who are out here talking about those same things? What's the difference?
If you glorifying it.
Right.
So if a trap rapper say, this the real me, and then have a song, one song talking about his family issues, one song talking about like just dealing with his baby mama, and then the next song talking about some street issues, you can take that seriously, because you can understand that's his real life, especially if he's portraying it like, this ain't the life I choose to lose, that I choose to have, but I have to do this, and this is why. Versus somebody who got an album cover full of guns saying, oh, I'm gonna shoot you, I'm gonna shoot you, I'm gonna shoot you, I'm the realest nigga on the planet. Like, that's a whole different thing. That's glorifying something. That's saying, I know people like this ignorant stuff, so let me put as much ignorant stuff out there to try to make that my name. Versus somebody showing, this is the real me, but this is a certain aspect of who I am right here. Let you check this out.
Do you have a lot of hope in today's generation? Do you have a lot of hope in the music that we have today?
I really do. Because an artist like Kendrick can be like one of the big selling artists in the country. Like, when you got stuff like that, I mean, it's different from I used to always say, like, when I first started getting into the power hip hop, it was 50 Cent versus Kanye West. It was the Graduation album, and 50 had an album. They both came out on the same day, and it was like art versus commercialism. Well, it's like back in the day, 50 Cent sold a lot of records just because he got shot 9 times. That was kind of glorifying the violence.
Yeah.
Had a video game called Bulletproof or whatever. Now he kind of changed his image, and I appreciate that, but that was wild. But today, it's kind of like Kendrick has a song, has an album just talking about straight emotion on the whole album, and it's like literally the best rap album I ever heard. That's just my opinion. Some people might differ, but I think that's like a masterpiece.
Yeah. So there is hope in the music that we have today in our generation. There is hope and inspiration in it.
Yeah, people can do their own thing a lot more these days because you got so many avenues to make your own music and to distribute your own music. So it's like people can really be creative and be themselves a lot more than they could before.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's more open, it's a more open market. Like I say, I think it's a big melting pot nowadays when it comes to music because you have genres who are, artists from other genres who are partaking in what artists are doing in the other genres. And it's just all mixed up because, the human mind is such a wonderful thing. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Trenius Henderson of the infamous Living Room Network here with Byron, Full Sail alumni. This is music generation, the hip hop music generation from today's music versus the past generation's music. We hope you enjoyed this segment of our understanding, of our teaching you to understand. We hope you enjoyed this segment of this interview. Go watch part 1 if you didn't watch part 2 already. Again, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next 24 hours.